You have the deadline in the coming days. Instead of working, I know there's already a lot of videos talking about how to cure the procrastinations. Then right now you have the questions, why do I need another video from you? Because I found a gap between all those popular videos and what you actually need to cure your procrastinations. Videos out there are sharing all of the good tactics and tips on how to cure procrastinations, but only if we know our root cause of procrastinations. We can't use the medicine to cure COVID. I'm not sure if that's right though, but you know what I mean. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what is the root cause of your procrastinations and the solutions for each of the cause. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the psychological factor instead of the physical environment. People may think that it is because of our environment are distracting. For example, we place our phones beside us so we get distracted. I agree at some point, but let us really think about what are we actually thinking when we think we are distracted. When we face a challenging task and we have no idea on how to do it, our brain will become blank. Or we have faced a very complicated task, it seems like it takes 1,000 steps to finish it. Or just the instructions of the task are not very clear, which I guess you may face in the workplace. You're unsure about the starting point, you don't know how to do it at all. Either options, we think that we may not have the ability to complete the task and to finish it. So as a human, our nature is to avoid difficult things and to choose things that are familiar with us. That's the moment we look at our distractions. That's the moment we pick up our phone. So if the tasks that you are doing are falling into this category, then the following solutions can help you to tackle it. Let's come with my favorite solutions. Break it down. Just let's list out what step do you need to take to complete the task. If that's not possible, if you don't even know what step you should take, that's not a problem. If it is work related, just ask your seniors, ask your directors on how to do it and give you clear instructions. If it is not work related, you can actually find a lot of free resource online. You can ask AI, Google it, and free YouTube videos. I've learned a lot from free YouTube videos. For example, one of the challenging tasks that I have when I start my YouTube channel, I don't know how to do the data analysis at all. I don't know what my audience are watching. I don't know do you guys love my content or etc. So I have to do data analysis in order for me to know more about you, and I don't even know how to start with. So I take course, I read books to learn how to do the data analysis. And in workplace, I'm not afraid of asking questions. Whenever I don't think I have the ability to finish it, after I have think about it myself, I will just ask my senior and director directly to give me clear instructions and for me to think about how to actually do it. So right now you have a clear step-by-step actions on how do you complete your task from 0 to 100. You just have to break it down as much as possible. You don't have to figure it all out because the step may change when you have more knowledge, when you have more experience. You just have to break it down and take the first step. When you take the first step, the further step will be more clearer to you and it may keep the same, or as I said, it may change. After breaking it down, I will think about what is the fastest way for me to finish the task. How can I fast track all of the steps? Work smart and working more efficiently is what I have always looked for. I don't like to do 1,000 steps to finish a task. I will try to aim for finish the task as fast as possible. So I always have the questions to keep in my mind. How can I finish it more productively and more efficiently? How can I simplify the task? How can I shorten the progress? For example, as a quantity surveyor, I have to do a cost estimate to estimate how much does the client need to build this building. And one of the things I have to measure is doors. I will obtain a door list from the architect. It's usually in a PDF format. What I need to do is I have to measure how many single door, double door, and not only that, there are a lot of categories within single door and double door. For example, it is fire rated or it is not fire rated. If it is fire rated, it is FR30 or FR90. So there is a lot of things that I have to measure just within a door list. But if I just measure the doors directly on the PDF files manually, it takes me hours. So I have to think about how can I actually shorten the progress so that I can just finish within few hours or even just 2 hours. When I ask questions to myself, you will really start thinking, how can I simplify the task? So the solutions for me is converting the PDF files to the Excel files. And when you have the Excel files, you can just use formula to help you measure the numbers of doors just within few clicks. Another example, for my YouTube channel, there are a lot of free resources on YouTube already, and there are a lot of free resources on Google's, but I would like to fast track my learning path to get the result as soon as possible. So I just take course, I read books, and I even ask questions during lesson. I have a community for me to ask questions, and I have a group of friends for me to ask questions as well. So whenever you face any complicated, difficult task that you don't think you have the ability to do it, first figure out what are the steps for you to take to finish it, and second, think about how can you shorten the progress, how can you simplify it so you can finish it as soon as possible. In this way, you are not only curing your procrastinations, but you're also doing it productively and efficiently. Also, another tip I would suggest is work on the difficult tasks during your peak performance hours. Peak performance hours is the time that you naturally have more energy in a day. You will have more energy to focus on the task, because I'm sure that you don't want to do the difficult task when you have very low energy. It takes more time for you to finish it. So finish it within your peak performance hours will give you higher concentrations, will give you higher focus to tackle the task. When the task is very boring and not challenging at all, that's another extreme point on the scale. Boring task. I think this makes me procrastinate more than the challenging task. When we are working on boring tasks like admin tasks, we would think that using our phone, scrolling our phone is a better option than doing those boring tasks. Also, doing boring tasks, especially those long repetitive tasks, we will have a perception of it is wasting our time, and we can use our time to do better things, or we can use the time doing something more meaningful. This is definitely me at work when I'm doing those boring admin long repetitive tasks. So it is very difficult for us to focus, to maintain our focus when doing all these tasks. If your tasks are fall into this category, then the following solutions are for you. Pairing with something that is fun and enjoyable, pairing with music or listening to podcasts, but don't let it distract you from working. I usually play some hi-fi music, or I usually will watch podcasts, watch YouTube videos that is entertaining when I'm doing some long repetitive boring admin task. Let me give you an example. As a QS, I have to make a list of informations in an Excel files, and all these informations is copy and paste from the PDF files, and the place that I've copied the information from is same location in every single PDF files. So I have to open thousands of PDF files and copy the information to the Excel files, which is a very long repetitive task, and believe me, it takes hours to finish it. So that's the time I start listening to music, listening to podcasts, or just watching YouTube videos. I don't have to think where I have to find this information from the PDF files. So that's why I can listen to music. However, even though these are the tasks that you don't need to think at all, and you can pairing with something enjoyable, you have to be aware sometimes it may distract you as well, because sometimes I get distracted by the funny YouTube videos. So just be aware of that when you use these tips. The next tip is gamify the task. Make the task more fun. For example, I love setting internal deadlines for myself, such as setting a goal that I have to complete it within 1 hour. Then I will take the time out plus 1 hour and start it. So I will just finish the task and hoping I can finish within 1 hour. It's like playing some games with myself. It can really turn some boring task to something that is enjoyable, and you can finish it much faster and more efficiently. The next tip is divide in batch. This is very useful when you have to do some boring repetitive task. You can divide into batch. For example, you have to finish 20 files and then put a rest spot in between, and then in the next hour finish another 20 files again until you finish all the task. When you feel like the task that you are doing, there's no ending of it because it is repetitive, it is boring, and it takes hours for you to finish, then you can try these tips. This is a very useful tips that I love to use. The third reason why we procrastinate is we are afraid of failure, and we are perfectionism. We don't like failure. We like to be perfect. This is a huge reason that hold us back from even just starting. We always think that we need to have a perfect plan. We need to have a plan that once we implement, it will succeed. We want to become successful with just one attempt. No one likes to take risks. No one likes to fail, and this is human nature. But this is also why we procrastinate a lot on the tasks that we would like to do. For the solutions, I don't think there's any actions that can solve this problem because it is a mindset and psychological problem. So let me try to shift your mindset. I don't think there is failure in the world. I think it is just a step of success. You can consider it as gaining points to reach reach your path to success. Have you played some games that you have to pass, you have to do certain missions like Mario games? In each time, you may fall into the trap and then you lost one life. And then the next time when you play the same level again, you'll be able to avoid that trap and go further. Maybe you lost another life for another trap, but and then you know that there's the trap and you can avoid it again and go further until you can complete that level. If we just look at one attempt separately, you may consider this is failure because you lost one life. But if we look into a bigger picture, it is actually helping you to the path to success, helping you to pass this level. The speed for you to reach success is determined by how many attempts you have tried. The more times you've tried, the faster you will reach success. The best way to achieve something is actually just start. Maybe you worry that you have started something and at the end, you are not doing that thing anymore. But that's okay because all the skills are transferable. Maybe the skills you have learned when you do that thing, it can be transferred to the thing that you would like to do in the future. I would like to speak about manifestations before and I didn't do it because I found that it is not the topic that I would like to speak about right now. It is not the most favorable topic that I would like to speak about right now. But all the skills that I've learned when speaking about manifestations on YouTube, it is transferable when I speak about productivity, time management, goal setting, achieving goals in YouTube. So even though I'm not continuous talking about manifestations and I'm talking about another topics right now, I can still use everything that I've learned back then. Another thing that is taught by my mentor is if you're afraid to take the first step because you're afraid of failure, then ask yourself, does it matter to you after one day? Does it matter to you after 1 month? What about 3 months? What about 1 year? What about 5 years? Or what about 10 years? When I first started my YouTube channel, I get very nervous on posting my first YouTube channel. I think I have struggled almost 1 year before I post my first YouTube video. I am worried that I get criticized because I know YouTube is a very large platform. A lot of people are watching YouTube and a lot of people are judging the content creator on the platform. So I ask myself, does this really matter to me after one day? Yes, I will get sad about it. I will get upset about people judging me and criticizing about me. But what about 1 month? Maybe. 3 months? Maybe. But what about 1 year? Then my answer is no. And actually, in fact, I'm glad that I've started and I have tried. At least I would like to know what am I capable of. So that's why I have started my YouTube. I have cured my procrastinations and I have started my YouTube channel posting videos and hoping to inspire you to build a life that you love. I've been raising in Asian family where I will be rewarded only when I get good grades and I will be punished if I get bad grades. So I am raised to avoid any mistakes and failures. I have been very cautious about every step that I take. I would make sure if I take that step, I can get what I want, then I will take that step. If not, then I don't even want to take that step. So as a person that is a huge procrastinator before and not doing the things that she would like to do, I mean myself, if I can do it, then you can actually do it as well. And I think this is a message that you would like to know. It's just a few minutes, but it could change your life. So I will see you there.